Come on. Hello, Claire. If I could get my video to work. All right.
Good morning.
How y'all doing? All right. Look, Ms. Bradford. I see you on the screen. I can't hear you though, but I can see you. All right, let me get to.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. Oh yeah, I can hear you. It's feedback, yeah.
I know, because I'm on my laptop and my computer.
Mute one of the mics.
Okay, it's off. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You just have to mute one of the mics. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. All right, class. How y'all doing?
All right.
All right, class. I want to start off. I told y'all on last class period that I was gonna be looking at assignments and making sure that you worked on your assignment, not be.
You need to mute your phone.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do. Turning in duplicate work. Okay, turn this on.
And that's what I did. I didn't know that it was a duplicated.
Right. And like I say, I ain't mad at you, but I'm saying I gotta grade you accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So my question is, what is duplicate work? What do you mean by that? That I self-plagiarize myself?
No, nah. See, this is Mr. Gaddis?
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Gaddis, you've taken my class before, right?
Yes.
And I've always said, I will not grade double work. Now, what's double work? If somebody write a program and then I see it 1, 3, 5, 10 times, I have to give everybody
but Mr. Professor, I'm Mr. Sylvester. I posted that program and I emailed you the day before the assignment was due. And you didn't communicate with me. I would have taken it off if you had a problem with that. You see what I'm saying?
No, listen what I'm saying though.
And the people in the class are taking my code.
Listen what I'm saying. But prior to that, when I first, every class period I talk about, and even this one, the last class period, I said I would be looking for that. I said I said it. I said I have seen work that looks similar. I haven't did anything to take a grade from anybody. I say, but I will start.
Right, and I understand that, and I missed that class period. I didn't hear about it until until Sunday, so I apologize.
But what I'm saying, that's been my policy from every class, and this would be what I would tell students. I do not mind you working together. I do not mind you collaborating, but I do mind one person doing a program and then everybody say, oh, make me a copy, and then we'll turn it in. And I have 5, 6, 7, a whole class of the exact same program, but everybody saying, oh, I worked with them. Oh, I was looking in the book while they was typing. No,
right.
If you understand
I understand what you're saying. I just felt like, I feel like you could have communicated that with me, like the day before.
But I'm saying, I thought it was understood based upon my previous.
Right, and like I was trying to say, I was just posting those programs as reference. So like if they're absolutely stuck, because I was getting like 10, 15 questions a day.
Right,
and I've got time.
I understand. And look, now, Mr. Gaddis, let me ask you this question. Now, you email me, Mr. Sylvester. I did this and that. Why am I getting this? Right? Would you do that? Right? Now, let me ask you this. Would I just specifically say, oh, just do this? Or would I say, oh, look at whatever? Or does
Right,
this,
right, and I understand what you're saying.
but you understand.
Right.
So I teach it to where you look at it and you learn from it. Like, oh yeah, I remember he said that.
Right,
Let
right.
me go try. So
And I totally understand that. I totally agree with that. It's just, I guess my personality is different because if I see someone else's code, I'm not going to take their code and just copy and paste it. I'm going to take that. What I meant to do was I post the programs. I want them to look at the logic and try and figure out their own code. Oh, that's how he did it. That's the logic.
And that's what they should have done. But if you, and I had one student, what they did was took out the spaces. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's the exact same code. All you did was reduce the number of lines, but you understand what I'm saying? So
it's just that I'm upset because
I understand.
I was trying to help the class, and then
this is what I normally do in that situation. I would beg you. Well, I would ask, like say, it doesn't happen where a person like, oh, Ms. Lester, I was trying to help this person, and I do my work, and I don't do this and that, and this is what I would normally say. If you get with that person and say, look, you need to go to Mr. Sylvester and say, look, hey.
Yeah,
I did whatever. You understand? If they can be man enough or whatever, like Miss Bradford did, to come to me and say whatever, then I'll give you your point. Right. But until then, I'm not going to do. You got what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if you can reach out to them and tell them, hey, you need to reach out to Mr. Sylvester. Look, tell him what you did, why you did it. And
well, I mean, I think you can understand after that. I'm not going to post it anymore. Just because.
Oh, okay. But I'm just saying.
You see what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, and let me show you.
I'm not trying to be rude. It's just like. I think that's wrong.
And I mean, and he was just helping. He just.
But Miss Bradford, and he was helping, but you didn't help yourself by just submitting what he did. You got what I'm saying?
And like I had to take 3 days off work.
Right, and I understand that, and but I hope it's and I'm not trying to be mean or not. I hope it's a lesson learned, even on the job, because even on the job, sometimes
people will take your code, right,
or not even that. It might not even be code. It just be your kindness, and then it's like well, wait a minute, I was just helping them. And they did whatever against me, or they did whatever to promote themselves, and I'm the one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, and like I said, not to be dissociative or whatever, but just be a little reserved in how you go about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
That clears it up for me. That's all. I just want to make sure, like. What I'm saying
like I say, I'm not mad at you or nothing.
No,
but it's just that, it's like, man,
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that there was actually nothing wrong with my knowledge in my program, because
the only thing was, remember I told you
that data file.
No. That when you was reading in, you still read in using arrays.
Right, instead of the pointers, right? Array plus.
Right. Not point, rather than manipulating the pointer, just doing the plus. Right. That was it. Other than that, and you did the other part, and I saw a lot of that.
What's funny is on the first program, I did do that. I guess I didn't go back and fix the second one. I must have just left it as array.
And let me show you what was so bad in the copying. They even used your remember the extension? A lot of people didn't do it, but the extension DG.
Yeah. They use my initials.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, come on now. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
So it almost like line for line, word for word, everything, So it was like I can't. Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah. But
that's all. Because I mean, if I get to a workplace, I just make sure that my code's good, and I'm a good programmer. That's all.
Right. And I know that about you. You understand? Yeah. But just like I said, you're just gonna have to just use a little discretion. I'm not saying just be.
I wasn't upset with you either. I just wanted to touch base. Right. I knew it was like, well, this is because you're fair. So
I try to be. I try to be. Yeah, try to be fair.
I knew it had to either do with, because I thought because I looked up plagiarism, like if you copy and paste your own work, your own program.
No.
That wasn't why.
No, that's not why.
So,
right. Yeah, and like I said, about 3 or 4 people just grab your code and boom, just put it out there.
Yeah.
Now I saw also some people what they did, and I kind of let it somewhat slide. They may have used their own code to do like a certain function, all of, and then like say for their sort, they grab some of your code. I say, well, and I kind of let that go because sometimes you might see something that I want to use.
It looks just like it, but they just edit it in a way that looks different.
Right. That's what they should, so they can understand what's going on, not just grab it and put it. Right. But if they ever have to modify it, they stop. You know, why you did it? I don't know. Yeah. So, yeah, but like I say,
I have one question for this new program. And
all right.
Is it okay if we use the reverse library function?
I want you to manipulate it using subscripts, just using your array subscripts.
Okay.
Because I know that there's other functions. Only the functions we went over, and like I say, the array subscript. And I'll go over that. Let me see something. What we had in this chapter left to go over, because I want to go over that. And what I did, what we're gonna do, what time it is, because I want to give you enough time. Wow, by 10:30, I'm gonna give you an in-class assignment. And what I'll do, I'll just post it, and you got until 11:15 to complete the assignment. And the assignment is dealing with the arrays. So if you did your program, you should be able to do this one. Well, it got a little other stuff in it, but you should be able to do it, and hopefully in the time, the hour, or almost an hour now. I might add a couple of minutes to it after. All right, so we went over this. We went over, this point is no, I'm in the wrong chapter. I don't want to go over that either. I need to share my screen, right? Let's see something. What's going on? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen. So we somewhat went over this part, looking at strings. We didn't look at this. We saw how pretty much just an example of how data is stored. Well, we know it's stored in binary, but it's just showing you somewhat how data is stored when you have something in a literal, when it adds a what? No terminator. Here we have a char array. This is a char array of 12. All right. And what? You have to, and the last character would be for the what? The null terminator. All right. You can do the CN, but you won't be able to read in what? What was that? Can't read in a space, remember? Remember that? If we reading some data and we trying to read something with a space in it, we can't just use CN because CN only reads up to what? That blank space. So what? They're telling you can use what? CN.getLine. So if I have a char array of size 80, I could do a CN.getLine and it'll read up until 80 characters, or up until you hit the enter key. You got me? When I say 80, 79 characters, and the last one would be the null terminator. So that's what that's telling you. If you look here, just showing you an example, all right? Seeing enter a sentence, all right, of no more than X number of characters, that many characters. You cannot read it by using CN. It will only read what? The first word. If I just do the CN and the stream into line, which would be the variable, it'll just read up until the first space. But to read all the characters of that line that I type up to 79 characters, I have to use CN.getLine, okay? You got to remember that, CN.getLine. Now, once I read it into that array, you remember how we manipulated our arrays with the numbers? Why we use for, whatever, equal or whatever, from 0 to whatever? You can do the same thing with char arrays. The first subscript is 0. It is the first character that was typed. The next character, the next character, the next character, the next. So you can manipulate through your array the same way. And look what they did. While line, which was the name of the array, subcount, where count started at, where's count equals 0. See, count is equal to 0. So for count is equal to 0, well, line subcount, where count is 0, and where line subcount is not equal to what? \0. \0 is what? That null terminator, or where I hit the enter key, remember? So it'll read what? Everything up until that line, till it hit that null terminator. All right. So really it's outputting. It'll output the entire string. So I could output every character one by one. If it's 79, 80 characters going across, or I could output each character on a line. If I put inline at the end of this, it'll print the first character, go to the next line, print the next character, next line, the next character, till it ends. All right. Here are what we're going to use, and I'm going to have to show you. I had to use some tricks. Well, not some tricks. I had to do a setup in Visual Studio because it throws errors if it's not set up in a certain way. It'll say, "Oh, try to use this as a warning." But these are some functions that you can use on your data once they're you read it in. You can do a string length to find out how long a string is, a character string. You could find out. You can string cat. String cat takes a string or character and assign or overwrites it with the second argument. Like here, if this was the word the, and this was batten, this would take batten and overwrite over the word the. So it takes the string cat, takes it no, that's concatenate, my fault. That's concatenate. Concatenate joins. I'm thinking of copy. Concatenate takes what you already have in that string and add to it. So if I have, say, batten, all right, and string 2 is batten space, and space 2, and string 2 is ruage. Then if I concatenate string 1 comma string 2, then provided that string 1 is large enough to hold what? The characters of the string 1 along with the characters of string 2, then I'll get batten ruage. Okay, so that's what something you got to keep in mind too. When I keep concatenating to a string, I have to make sure it's large enough to keep adding to it. String copy is the one that will overwrite what's already there. So if I had batten here and ruage here, it would take ruage and put in string 1, and then what? String 1 would equal to ruage, all right? And string 2 would equal to ruage, all right? Now, string in cat copies n number of characters. Like I could copy 3 characters, 1 character, 2 characters. So I can tell it how many characters I want to copy into, concatenate into another string. And look, string 1, or string cat, string 1, string 2, and then this would tell how many characters of string 2 I want to copy in string 1. It's almost like if I told you to write a program where persons will have a first name, middle name, and last name. And then I told you to rewrite, and then you read in each string separately. And then I told you to write out last name, comma, first name, space, initial. So you would have to do a string cat last name, string cat, comma, space, string cat first name, then string cat what? String in cat middle, right? Middle initial. Where it's going just concatenate what? That 1 character. All right. So those are some of the things you can do to manipulate. All right. String in copy. The same thing. I can copy X number of characters into that string rather than copy everything from that string 2 into string 1. And you could compare strings. I could do compare these 2 strings to see if they're equivalent. All right. Then there's STRR. This deal with pointers in a sense where it'll actually locate the position that you're looking for, and then you can the pointer will be pointing to that position, and then you can print from that point on, or you can display from that point on. All right, because you're dealing with the pointers. So here we got char name 50. All right, because remember the array size can be larger, but what's going to happen? It's going to put all this into that array, and at the end, it's going to add the null terminator, so it'll know where to end my print. All right, int length. But look what they did. Length is equal to string length name. So what I can do, I can do something like for int x equals 0, x less than what? String length name. So what? I'll manipulate through my char array x number of times for the length until it get to the end of that string. You got what I'm saying? So you don't have to, all you could have done the number. Take this number length here. So for x equals 0, x less than length, right? Well, you can do this statement and then put length in your for statement. Either way you would like to do it. But sometimes people just like to use it in that fashion, all right? So that's what it just tells you.
Every day he's gonna go a couple of days, and that's because he kind of got to. Because I mean, I gotta go to work.
I can't hear you.
You know, but like I said, I think.
Oh. You talking to me? Oh, all right. So, but it's just telling you about how the length. All right. So you have that string length. Look, length equals string length. This. All right. So it gives you the string length of the name, all right, which is this literal, all right? Oh, right. All right. So now look at string cat, all right? So we have a char string of string one.
I think that'd be the best thing to do.
Wait a minute.
It's like the pills, like this, like she the Zofran, she got an undestined version. That one she can keep down sometime, but like when she gets bad, like how she get bad sometimes. Yeah, hey, just put it in front of these boxes.
Thought I muted. All right. All right. So now, so we look here. String one, hello, has how many characters? Really? 13. But look, it's hello and space. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? But then we got to account for the null terminator, right? So that's 7. String 2 is world, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7, right? So this one is actually filled up, correct? But what did they do? They did a what? String cat, string 1, string 2. Concatenate means to just join together, right? Just add on to it, right? So what they did was hello came up to here, and then so they added what? To the space, but then they added what? WORLD exclamation point, null terminator. If this string size, if string 1 was size 12, we would have no place to put the null terminator, and then when we tried to output string, it would output some garbage at the end because it wouldn't know where to stop. It'll print till it finds a null terminator. All right, so you got to be conscious of that. All right, you got to be conscious. Yes,
Professor.
Yes.
So I got everything set up like to concatenate, but my string cat function kept reading error messages.
Right now, okay.
Figure out a way to like set it up. Right.
Okay. So let me. These are the functions, and you can read through them functions, and that's the pointer. That's the program. We're not using these functions, but these are some good functions. I'm gonna get to your point after I do this. You could take a alpha character and turn it, like say a number that's in double quotes, and turn it into an integer. So A to I, say take this alphabetic string and turn it into an integer. So you can take what? 4569 that's in double quotes, which would be probably a string, which is a string, and take it and convert it into an integer. This is A to L. This is convert to integer. let's see, converts the C string to a long integer. All right. So all of a sudden you're taking something that's in double quotes, and I'm missing that double quote in the front of here, and it's turning that into a long integer, a value that's bigger than an integer. All right. Which would normally be, but long integer, no matter what, it accept up until a certain value. Then A to F. So now you can accept a float value that's character and turn it into a float. All right. And then I to A. So now you're taking an integer value and reverting it back to a string. All right. So you can do several things, and this is some examples of how you do that. So now, somebody had a question about the visual. All right, let me open. I got visual open up. Let me drop down this program from my email. All right, that I emailed myself the other night. Well, I said last night. I don't want to compose nothing. I want to go to the inbox. And let me close this up. And where am I? Where am I? Where am I? I thought I had it in here. Oh, Tim, I gotta send it again. Oh, here we go. No, that's a chart. Well, I thought I sent it to myself. All right, let's see something. There we go. I wonder why it wasn't showing. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this and load it. All right. So I need to download it. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna click. Can I click? Can I download it? What happened? Let me move this. Oh, here we go. So I'm gonna download this right quick. Oh, I just put it in there. All right. So now, somebody had a question. So let's look at this. So what happens is, and I can't run it without the error. What it tells you to do is go to project, whoever that is, you go to project, and whatever project you have open, mine is not open. I'm going to have to copy it. Let me copy this and open my project. Control A, C. I'm going to close this. Close this solution. Okay. So let me open up. See if it'll open up as a project. Open up homework. All right. So I'm gonna open this up. Now, so what it tells you, I'm gonna copy this. And all right. It tells you to go to project and see down here, who asked that question?
All
right. You click on this properties here on that project. Once you do that, it's gonna give you this menu. Under this menu, you're gonna double click on C++. Then you click on processor. On the processor, you're gonna go over here and you're gonna click down on here and click edit. When you click edit, scroll down here, and I've added it already. But it was a command that said underscore, if I could type, underscore CRT underscore no, I think it's, yeah, no, NO secure warning. No secure warning. All right. And I think that's the way it's, and if it's a change, I'll have to go back and find it for you. But no secure warning. Once you do that, all right, then you should be able to run it. So put that in there and try run and do apply, and then it should run. So now, what I want to show you is, class, your program, you are to read in a name, right? The name you're supposed to read in should be read from in one variable. So if you look at this program, I just created mine in functions. Now, another thing I want to tell you, you remember you wrote your programs, and a lot of people, what they did, we had arrays on the year, the string name or the string variable of name, the year, and the amount. If you notice, an array is a what?
Because she already got it.
What we talked about.
Is a pointer.
All right. So we really didn't need to put those asterisks on those when we passed in those arrays. We really didn't need to put what? A asterisk on it to say we passing a pointer, right? Because an array itself is a pointer. But you know, you did it. That means you understood the concept, so no problem. But you understand when we pass array, it automatically passing what? That address. Okay. And then inside that function, you still can what? Manipulate it using those pointers. All right. But here we did an array. So get full name. So we're gonna get the name. And what I did, I passed the array of what it was, your name. That was the array. And I passed the size of the array into that. So look, get full name. And all I did was did this. Enter your first and last name, cn.getLine, remember? Because if I'm getting a name space, another name, I have to use cn.getLine. So remember, and then what? I have to tell it the length of the size of it if I wanted to. All right. And then once I retrieved it, I printed it out again. All right. So now, once I grabbed the name and printed it out, I just printed it just to see if it grabbed what I wanted. All right. Now, we went back, and if you look here, it asks if status. All I did here was, what if somebody just put in one name? If somebody put in one name, then my program shouldn't try to what? Do what it should do, like do the first name, middle, the nickname, and last name. And first name, right? So all I did was put in a check to see if for status. So what happened is it say if status equals 0, you did not enter, a first and last name. So let's go down here to see what happens. Where I did status. So here, validation check. So where's my call? Okay. Did I call validation check? I didn't call it. But yeah, okay, so if status is 0. No, but I should have called it before I did that. But if you look at it, if status is, I set status to 0, then what I did, I read from index equal to 0, all right, throughout num sub x until num name sub x, all right, on sub index is not equal to a null terminator. So what I'm doing, I'm reading every character up until the end of the line. If I don't find a space, all right, I don't add to status, so status stay at 0. So I return what? The 0 back. So that's what that check did there, just to check to validate. All right. So, but then like I said, it's in the wrong place. But so now here, because this validate should be before this. So here, look, begin last. Begin last is a variable, all right? Because I'm storing my name into a variable, and I'm returning a beginning for the last name. So when I get my first name, I'm calling store first name. If I go back down here, what it's doing here, store first name, it says, okay, I'm passing full name and first name. So full name is pretty much is the actual name that's read in. F name is going to be my first name that I'm going to pull from it. So if we look here, index, all right, I set my index to int, and it say finding first name. So what I'm going to do, I need to start at the beginning of my array that has my whole name in it, and what? Every time up until a space. All right, so it says what? For index equals 0, starting at the 0 position of first name, full name, sub index not equal space. So that means as long as full name is not equal space, I'm gonna keep reading, and each time I read, I'm gonna increment my index. But as I read, I'm gonna ask if index is not equal blank, take the character subindex and put into the first F name subindex. So it's taking first name sub 0. If it's not blank, it's putting it into first name sub 0. Second position, first name sub 1. If it's not blank, it's putting it into first name sub 1. So on and on till I hit a blank. When I hit a blank, then I kick out. But then what? Now I've incremented this by 1. So now I need to tell it what? Put that null terminator, because what? If I don't put that null terminator, it will not know where to what? Stop printing for my first name. All right. So I'll do the null terminator. And now, why did I bump index on by 1? Why I'm returning index plus 1? Anybody can tell me that? If I'm reading I'm reading from an array. Say I'm reading my name, my first and last name, David. What's the next position?
That needs to be an alternator.
No, I'm saying from the full name. David. What's the value?
Space.
A space. So now I want to bump up from that space to get that what? The first character in my last name, right?
Right.
So I added 1 to index and returned it back. So now, if you look here, begin last. So that's going to be the value for the what? Subscript for the beginning of my last name. Everybody got that? So the beginning of my last name. So what I'm going to do here, I'm gonna do a store last name as a function, and I'm going to pass my whole array of your name. All right, and I'm gonna pass my last name where I'm gonna store it in, and I'm gonna pass the value where I'm gonna begin my array. That's subscript. But now check this out. This is what's gonna happen to some people. All right, let's do store last name. Look what happened. I did an index again because remember this is local to what? This function. So I index. I declared it again, all right? Then I did int start, right? So now what happens is I say for index is equal to what? Begin last. So now index is bumped up to what? That position where the first character in my last name start, correct?
Right.
All right. So now I'm going from that, and I'm keeping incrementing. So I'm starting from S, right? I done left DAVID space alone, and I'm starting at the S, all right? And I'm taking, look, now this is where some people gonna get the problem. I'm gonna go from that point, all right, from full subindex, not equal to null terminator, because now I want to go to the end. The first time I wanted to go to the space to grab the first name. Now I want to go to from whatever that position is to get to the end. So now this is where some students might mess up. Look here. If I'm going to store these values into LN, I need to store first name subindex, which might be what? 5 or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? First name sub 6 into LN sub.
Here.
Sub what? So what?
No, it would be sub 1.
So what? What's the first character? What's the first position of array?
0.
Right. So that's why I said start to 0. So the start of my last name will start at 0, and I'm gonna keep incrementing. But the beginning part of my last name gonna begin, which I set to index, and it's gonna keep incrementing. So 6 is going to have 6 and then 0, 7 then 1, 8 and then 2. So you understand what's going to happen? It's going to take the 6th position, first name sub 6, and put in LN sub 0. Then it's going to increment them both. Full name sub 1, LN sub, first name sub 7, full name sub 7, LN sub 1. So you see how it's moving up in one, but and moving from back from a lower place in the other one because they got to start from the beginning to the end. All right,
Mr. Sylvester.
Yes.
I got a question.
What you got?
Is it okay to use instead of char? You can use string, and
you can
and
use.
What I'm saying, couldn't you use like a bool variable to indicate where the space is, and then separate that first variable name into 2 different variables?
Right, but then you can use other functions. But listen, this is what I want you to be able to do. And like I say, it's somewhat dinosaur, but it kind of keeps you thinking. I want you to be able to say, okay, I need to take this start position here and put in this array. Now, like I say, there's functions where you can just grab and put. But I want you to be able to know how to manipulate, the array.
Right, the characters, right, and the array.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
I was just wondering because, like, on the assignment, so you can use string functions. So I was wondering.
Well, now you can use but those string functions, most of them work on character arrays. They do work on strings, but you can run into issues.
Okay.
But
so like, if I use like name.length, could I use that function?
Yeah. Because that's in the notes. I think we just went over. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Right. All right. So now that'll get the last name and then put that in. Now, looking at this, we go back and it says, okay, upper first name. Now you're going to do an uppercase on nickname, correct? So you're going to have them input a nickname. So look, upper first name. So what I did, I created a function. To do that. Upper first name. So I pass first name and I pass a capital F in for first name. So I have a first name function that has my first name in it, and then I got an FN function. Array. I have a FN array that has my first name in it. Then I have an FN array that I'm going to store my uppercase of all my letters in my first name. All right. But you're going to do what? Nickname, correct? So look what they did. Starting from the beginning, all right? Index equals 0, first name, FN subindex not equal to what? Null terminator, right? So as long as I'm going from the 0 position all the way to the null terminator, all right, I'm going to check to see if it's not equal to blank, which I don't think I needed this one. All I want to do is what? Convert what? Whatever's in FN to upper and put it in there. So FN sub 0, uppercase it and put it into capital FN sub 0. FN sub 1, make it uppercase, put it in FN sub 1. So all I'm doing is taking each character, and if it's not uppercase, it's putting it in uppercase and putting it in an array. All right. Now, look at this last part here. The building of a name. Now, how did I build my name? Looking at this array here. This function here. I'm doing a string copy the LN, which is my last name, into full. I guess it would be my final name. All right. So I'm taking last name and dumping it into full. All right. Then I'm doing a string cat of a string literal, comma, space. So at this point, my array should have, my full array should have Sylvester, comma, space. Everybody understand that? So I put that in there, right? Then I'm doing a string cat, because see, this was string copy, and then now I'm just concatenating everything else. I'm doing a string cat first name. So I have last name, comma, space, and now I'm putting first name. So we're going to have David, and then I'm putting in a string cat, and I'm just putting in a space and double quotes. All right. So what it is, I'm gonna put a not double quotes, my fault, 2 asterisks, and then I'll do a string cat FN, which is what my uppercase name, first name, and then string cat, 2 more asterisks behind it. All right. So let's run the program and see what happens. And then we'll come. Oh, what did I do? I didn't want to do that. All right. So let's run the program and see what happens. So we run the program. Got errors. Let's see what it is. And it might say that same thing. Yep, string unsafe. So I think I might have done something. Let's see. Here, and I might not have typed it right. Go here and go. It's on processor.
It's secure no warnings, not no secure warnings.
Oh, okay. All right. My fault. All right, here we go. All right. Oh, that's not an O. Secure, no warning. All right. So click OK, apply. And what that's going to do, that's going to eliminate those errors. And if you don't do that, you're going to get those errors. And see, just like that, all of a sudden, it doesn't give us those errors. All right. So remember that. That's a little key thing. So if I type in, and if you notice, okay, I typed it in and I printed it out. Okay, this is the name I typed in. This is what it printed out. Okay, finding first name, finding last name. I just put that in there as comments to see how my program is processing. Capitalizing all letters of first name. And then look, first name is equal to this. Last name is equal to this. Full name is equal to this. But then what? Uppercase is equal to this. But then my built name, Sylvester, comma, David, space, 2 asterisks, capital, all cap, David, double, two double quote. I mean, 2 asterisks. So you see what happens? I took a char array, one array, had the information typed in using the CNI get line. Then I manipulated that string. All right. And in class, if you kind of look at it on a larger scope, this is just dealing with what? Word processing, correct? Remember, like if you copy something and paste something and all that's kind of is not, you're not actually doing it, but you're understanding how that somewhat works. You know, it's not just you clicking a mouse and putting it down. It's code behind that, right? So, anybody have any questions?
Not currently.
Okay. All right. So now, so you can look at this, like I said, it's out there, but it's not doing exactly what your program is doing, but it's doing some of what your program needs to be doing. All right. Everybody understand that? So you can look at this as a reference. All right. And like I said, to try to get your program working. But like I say, you get what to do is try to do, and like I say, you don't have to, but I try to tell you, try to do your program in small parts. Okay, I'm gonna get the name. I'm gonna see if I can print out the name. Okay, once I print out the name, I'm gonna see if I can just grab the first name and see if I can print out the first name. So if you can kind of just do it in small modules, then you can how would I say, you can accomplish certain things in a day's time or a couple of hours time or whatever. But if you try to just run and do the whole thing, and you got errors here, you change something in that, then you got errors somewhere else, then it's like you get frustrated.
You got there?
So take it.
And Will came over here yesterday.
All right. Now.
He said Deborah is not supposed to be putting the orange sheets.
Oh, you're not muted.
Yeah, that would it took me so long to get to it.
Those white sheets on here. She said it can't.
Yeah. All right. So now, so like I say, this is this one. So now, if you like I said, you're gonna have issues because dealing with those array subscripts, sometimes you might be over, sometimes you might not add the null terminator. You know, it can get confusing. And then sometimes manipulating the different subscripts and where am I what? It can get confusing. So like I say, take your time, look at the examples that the book have, look at some of the examples on here, and like I say, take it, understand it, and then fit it to your needs. All right. So hopefully you can get this one done. And like I say, it's not hard, but like I say, just try to work on it. Now, any questions? Any questions? Now this, and I'll go ahead on and publish this. And what I guess I'll give y'all a day or two to do this one. It was supposed to be in class, but I know some people may have another class or whatever. I'll give you till a night, to do it. I want to go. I want to go to here. All right. So let me publish it. Okay, let me go to modules. All right. All right. It was supposed to be in class, but I'm gonna have to change the time on it. Where the in class assignment? All right, here it is. All right. Look at this assignment. This assignment said due by, and that's gonna be all gone. I'll say 11:59 tonight. Okay. All right. So it says write a program that will read 10 records from a data file. Okay. Read in an item name of string into an array, an item cost of float into an array, and a shipping cost of float into an array. All right. Read and then from a function. All right. Not the file. Right. Read the file. Yeah, I got twice. All right. Read the file, manipulating the array. All right. Manipulating the array using the dereference array. And I use array just so you know the array, and X as what? The subscript or whatnot technique. All right. Once read in, so this is how I want it to be read in class, right? Using this, right? I don't want just array sub X. I want you to use that pointer dereference, right? All right. So now, once it's read into the array, within another function, all right, within a function, calculate the total, all right, of the item. I should say item cost. Make sure everybody understand. The item cost plus the shipping cost, all right? And output the data using array plus plus. So now we're just incorporating both of them in the same one. But reading it in, you're doing this. Printing it out, you're doing this. Now, of course, what? We're not going to output what? Our cost using an array because it's not a part of an array. Everybody understand that? Right? Your cost could be, I would say should be calculated as you what? Manipulating your output. When you output your values, before your output, you just do what? Your total cost is equal to the cost plus the item cost plus shipping cost. And then you output your arrays and then your cost. All right. So now, it says that make sure that you create your header file. Make sure you use your header file that we talk about all the time and call it from the main function. All right. Output from a function. All right. Which is this. Okay. Once read in, calculate. So all this here is the same function. Here, where I say once read into the array, within a function, calculate whatever. All right, and do all this. So you could do all this in that output function. All right. So output from a function, so that's gonna be outputted also. A column heading, Here's your column headings: name, item cost, shipping cost, total cost. And notice I have one name items, all right? No spaces, all right? One name item. All right, so here, now, it says, make sure you use what? The currency format. So all you're gonna have to do is what? Create a data file that's gonna have item, a cost, item, unit cost, shipping cost, item, unit cost, shipping cost. So you're gonna have all 10 of those. And then these gonna be read into an array, into an array, into an array. All right. And then when you output your data, you're gonna output, before you output mouse, whatever, you're gonna calculate this so it can be this plus this, so it'll print out this. Now, notice when I'm in the edit mode, it doesn't look like it should. But if I save it, I need to change this though. PM. I didn't change it. All right, so now, but if you look at, hopefully if you look at it, you should see it like this, right? So this is a sample of what it looks like. But if we just use these different ways to manipulate our arrays, so you should be comfortable in reading and whatever. The only thing is, what we're doing is calculating a total. And outside of that, everything should be basic. And like I said, you still should be able to do that. That shouldn't be hard. So any questions about this assignment? Like I say, your output, you should, all the calculations and whatever should be in that output function. So you don't need to have 3 functions and try to create another array for your what? For your total cost. You don't have to do that. If you do it, fine. But if you do, you're going to have to manipulate it the same way as this, as I said, the others. But if you just calculate and print it, no problem. All right? Any questions? So what I want you to do is get started on this. Now, again, class. Is any class assignment. You can collaborate. You can talk. You can whatever, talk about your strategies. But do your own work. Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So going on and get started is do the night. It's not that long. Like I said, get it, hit it, and get finish with it and turn it in. And I might make it bonus. You know what I'm saying? I might just make it bonus. It just depends.
So, Mr. Sylvester.
Yes.
About the other program, that's also due tonight currently.
Did I make it what now?
You made the name program due tonight as well.
Oh, yeah, because didn't I assign it last week?
No, because
I just said I was going to put it available. All right. So I'll make it, I'll go back and make that due, Monday for next week. All right. Anybody got issues with that one? Well, like I said, we went over this program, so this should, not this one here, but the one with InVisual. So that should kind of help you also if you got started in it and had some issues. So it should kind of help you. All right. All right. So let me change that though before I forget though. Let me go to let me see. I'll go back previous. I might just go back. I'll just go to modules. Boom. Let's see here. Where is that one? Yeah, that's 6.
Give it called 7B.
Yeah. Because 7 was a different one, and I just kind of changed it up a little bit. So I'm going to change both those dates. Just yeah. Okay. And I'll change that to what? Monday. Okay. All right, that was changed. And then the next one. The doc. And everybody, like I say, you should be getting my documents, man, correct. Format shouldn't be an issue. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, and you don't have to do no documentation on the one tonight, though. Just do the program, all right? No documentation, just do the program. All right? Any questions? All right, so like I say, y'all can get together to talk, or like I say, you can start working on it while it's fresh on your mind. I wanted you to do it in class, like do it class time. But all right, if there's no questions, go ahead on and do your assignment. What I'm gonna do also, I'm gonna post the test and the quiz. All right, so read through the notes, the remaining notes, and I'm gonna post the test and the quiz. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, so have a good one. Hey, wipe that storm now. Like I said, I don't know if it's coming. Like I said, I don't know how much water it's gonna bring or whatever. But just be prepared. That's all. And be safe. All right. All right. I'll see y'all next class period. Have a good one. Okay.